What's up, guys? My name's KhaoticK, back at you guys with a little one today. We're coming at you with a new video. And in this video, we are going to be reviewing Norflurazepam. So Norflurazepam is apparently a metabolite, a pretty common metabolite in, I guess, the majority of the current licensed and medically prescribed benzodiazepines. And yeah, I'm gonna be getting into this benzo here shortly. Hope you guys are staying high, stay lifted, and most importantly, enjoying the video. So this one is pretty interesting. So it has a pretty long half-life, all right? I felt it like sort of up to 3 days in my system, but really it dies down after like that first or second day. It felt like a stronger version of diazepam. So that's really all it was, about a 5 milligram pill. Yeah, it was about that range. So I didn't take too much of it, but so we're gonna be getting into that here. I had like little pellets of this stuff. It is primarily a research chemical because, again, it's a metabolite. So they're actually synthesizing the particular metabolite of most, I guess, benzos. I don't know. It apparently is a metabolite of, I think, even diazepam. And it's, I guess, responsible for the majority of the effects. It does last a lot longer. So, meaning that, yeah, it's going to stay in your freaking system for a pretty hefty amount of time, bro. So, definitely don't be abusing this one, or it will build up in your system. So watch out for that. But it's slightly stronger than diazepam. Actually, it's pretty stronger than diazepam, because when I took a 5 milligram Norflurazepam pellet pill, that got me roughly towards, I guess, maybe where 30 milligrams of diazepam would be. So yeah, it's definitely probably like 6 times as strong as diazepam. Feels almost exactly like it, so really can't say much else there. It had a lot of very good come down reducing potential, because I had done a combo of 6 APB with 2 FEA and 3 FEA and GHB, and that being GBL, which is a little more on the come down side with that class of drug. So yeah, bro. So I needed something, and it helped a lot. The half-life helped a lot. I never really felt when it actually, left my system. It just gradually left my system. So I like that. Very, very different from a short-acting benzo than an azalam derivative of the benzodiazepine class. And I'm more used to those kind of drugs, than obviously like the azepam derivatives. So yeah, I'm used to those RCs differently. The azalam RCs than the azepam RCs, and the azepam RCs they tend to actually hit you a lot longer, in my opinion. I don't know. They just feel a little bit different. Like the azalam derivatives are like a lot more hypnotic. Definitely a lot more hypnotic. They definitely will fuck you up. So yeah, watch out for that. But very interesting, and against all of the other benzo RCs, man, I've done probably up to 18 different benzo RCs, bro. Like, bro, I should be the Bartard of the century at this point, but I'm not. So, yeah, I just do this shit for strictly educational and research purposes only. However, you should not be reenacting what I'm doing in my videos. But again, that's besides the point. But like I said, it's crazy the amount of benzos I've done. Like, I am just, it's ironic because I'm not a Bartard. Like, I'm really not. And even when I was doing benzos, I was really just kind of using it as a crutch for like other issues like muscle tension, and for some reason my workouts were fucking with me. Nowadays it's not like that anymore. And yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, when I come back to benzos, they're just not addicting anymore, man. Like I don't know what that phase was about. Yeah, honestly, it was also because I was using it to replace alcohol. Not a good thing to do. Definitely not a good thing to do. And once you start thinking you could be sober on this shit, like, meaning like once you start thinking you look sober on that shit, so like, delusion of sobriety, that's when your shit's fucked. So watch out. But Norflurazepam, it didn't really feel addicting at all. I had no urge to keep using it, but I would say the relief it had was very good. I would definitely take less than 5 milligrams though, because since it lasts so long in your system, you don't want to wake up the next day and still feel high. So you want to take a lower dose with this one for sure. And this is coming from, well, maybe just a slight GHB tolerance, but no benzo tolerance, because they do act on different receptors. I do notice it slightly reduces the effects. Like benzos don't, like, they don't hit me as like hard as they should if I was completely off any GABA substance. But since I'm not, there is kind of a tolerance, kind of like a set tolerance there. However, benzos, no, they still fuck me up, bro. And yeah, so I would advise that you take less than 5 milligrams for your first time if you have no tolerance, and really just do it anyways, because tolerance or tolerance not, you need to gauge the effects the normal way and not in a high dose range way. Back to the effects, very calming. It took about up to like 2 hours to fully peak, maybe up to 3 hours even, because it was a pellet form, so that probably takes some time to digest and break down when mixed with like food and stuff. Yeah, and I also tried flubrorazepam recently. I'm gonna make a separate review about that, but that one was very similar to it was very similar to Norflurazepam, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Obviously, that's because they're all really the same stuff. Like, it feels even similar to diclazepam. Yeah, so it feels similar to any azepam, probably out of there. You know, they're not that different, bro. They're really, really not. And if, you know, if it is really just a metabolite as well in a lot of the prescribed benzos, then there you go. Like, it's not going to feel any different from even the prescribed benzos. It's just not different enough. But yeah, you know, this is just made to get around the laws, you know, of these compounds. So always keep in mind that it's not legal. So anything that's being produced is existing in a legal gray area that may or may not soon be, you know, to run out. So watch out, you know, watch what you're getting. Don't be getting bullshit. Test your substances and make sure that you're diligent with your doses and weighing out anything, knowing what was in that pellet, bro, because honestly, it's, you know, you're kind of taking a gamble with these you know, pressed pills. You know, one could be stronger than the other, and then you could be fucking tarted out, man, like bar tarted out, man. So watch out. All right, definitely don't be fucking with powder versions of this kind of stuff. It's too potent. I mean, at least it's a little bit higher of a dose range than usually the benzos are. Alprazolam's stronger than this. So this would be, in a weird way, I don't want to say it, a little more functional. Yeah, it was definitely a little more functional. Maybe not so good for panic attacks, but it's definitely good for anxiety. It's good for like just that little bit of anxiety. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Sometimes, like, some days you have more anxiety than others if you're prone to anxiety, right? Unfortunately, people with hyperactive minds like mine, we're kind of prone to, and it's not like anxiety, like you're scared of anything. It's more of like you're really worried about something. And that shit can get to you at times, man. So, man, dude, that's probably the other reason why I like benzos so much. And it's very good not to go back to them. But obviously, you know, with that kind of a thing in mind, you know, you're just gonna pick another poison, so pick wisely, I guess I could say. I don't know, but I am not a doctor. Also, don't pick wisely. Please see a doctor for any mood disorders or anything, mood changes. They can get you prescribed onto something before it gets worse. Definitely consult a doctor. I'm not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form. But anyways, you know, so Norflurazepam, I wanted to end this on a good note. I liked it a lot, okay? Very good compound. I liked it because it's like diclazepam. Like I said, some of these azepam ones, they tend to have a half-life that is super long, right? So that could be used very usefully for a drug taper if you're taking short-acting benzos most of the time. That could potentially get rid of the majority of withdrawals, right? You know, you're probably still going to withdraw. Your brain's not getting that right dose of benzo. It's just getting something. So, and also be ready to go to the doctor. I mean, if you're trying to use it for a taper, bro, be ready for shit to go wrong. And please tell everybody that, I mean, please tell someone that, I don't know, that you trust that you've been taking this particular RC to taper, or be honest with your doctors. Like, I'm serious. Like, that's probably the shit that's gonna have to be said for you to get the help that you need, or probably get, you know, maybe introduced into a drug rehabilitation. Honestly, at that point, that's probably what you need. But again, I'm not a medical professional. But anyways, Norflurazepam, can't go wrong with this one. It felt just mellow enough to not be like hypnotic. Like, it was more sedating than hypnotic, meaning it was a little more clear-headed, a little more functional, less amnesic and lethargic. If you're not taking caffeine or something to wake you up with this stuff, like, you're gonna look fucked up, I'll be honest. So if you want to counteract that and be a little more social, look a little more functional, definitely take a stimulant to kind of counteract that part of the drug, because you're just going to look like you really didn't sleep well. And yeah, for some reason on benzos, you kind of get a look to yourself, or you feel just like really droopy, like your eyelids get real droopy and your eyes just look dead, bro. So watch out, because it's like any other benzo, bro. It's going to make you look like you're high on something. And do not be taking this if you're not already experienced. That should not be said. It should be common sense, right? So anyways, Norflurazepam gets, you know, I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10. There we go. But other than that, pretty much the same as diazepam, just lasts a lot longer and has maybe double the half-life even, and roughly 6 times the potency, in my opinion. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please join my harm reduction Discord down in the link below, where you can find a lot of information on various substances and compounds, a lot of detailed information there, and a lot of good people ready to chat with the same likenesses and similarities. Also, join my channel, and please support my, channel if you'd like to, and you would earn perks as well as special unique roles on my server, emojis, and all of that jazz. So yeah, please become a member, and I hope you guys stay high, stay lifted, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.